Good evening, gang. So tonight we're tabling whatever I had planned. Okay. Um, I know I was going to do Caitlin Clark's six favorite basketball players, the players she modeled her game after. Um, but we're putting that all aside tonight because this is a pretty big story, and I think it's one that you folks need to hear. Okay. Um, Now, it has been revealed by someone named Sophie Cunningham, who reveals all. She does not hold back. Okay, uh, something that we all should know by now, just based on who Caitlin Clark is, what she was able to do for not just women's basketball but women's sports in general through her college years and into the pros, breaking 62 records in her um, in her rookie year. Caitlin Clark wields considerable power within the Indiana Fever organization. She does not need our protection from Stephanie White or from Amber Cox or from Kelly Crosskop or from any other entity in the WNBA world. Caitlin Clark, let me repeat this, has input into the Fever system. Okay? I'm going to show you the video that is actually embedded in Robin Lundgren's analysis. I will put that whole analysis in here as well. He is not surprised by any of this either. And I've been saying this, that Caitlin Clark does not need our protection. She is absolutely not the helpless little Midwest girl who is going into the lion's den and can't handle herself. That is a misnomer. Now, for those of you who like drama and want to continue to live in that delusional world, you are fully free to do that. But I'm going to state right up very early in this video that this channel will not be doing that with you. And if it becomes obnoxious enough, I will block you from the channel. We are here to elevate Caitlin Clark, not to position her as somebody who has no clue what she's getting into. She most certainly does. Okay? And she knows what the people, the black women who came before her, she knows that they built this league. And she has stated that. But she also has stated that it's every generation's responsibility to move this league along. There will be people coming after her that will do the same thing. The fact that Caitlin Clark has this much power is not something that a team will reveal to the general public. Okay? Look, everybody knows LeBron James had that kind of power as well. There have been other players who have. In my time, Larry Bird did. I'll tell you a little story. Okay? When Tiny Archibald, who was the point guard, retired, Larry Bird wanted Dennis Johnson of the Phoenix Suns to come to the team as the point guard. And there were rumors about Dennis Johnson out there being poisoned in the locker room and all of that stuff. And Larry Bird was having none of that. Before you knew it, Dennis Johnson was the point guard for the Boston Celtics. And Dennis Johnson and Larry Bird were a deadly duo together. Okay? When the Celtics were competing for the title, coming out of 85 and going into the 85-86 season, coming out of the season before that, Larry Bird wanted Bill Walton, who was considered over the hill at that time, a guy with clearly with foot problems. Larry Bird wanted Bill Walton. Without Bill Walton, the Boston Celtics may never have won the 85-86 championship. Okay? That's an actual fact. There have been players in this league who have had that kind of basketball acumen and ability, and then have been given the reins. Caitlin Clark is one of those players. Okay? Caitlin Clark had input into Stephanie White being the coach. I will show you the post that Caitlin Clark made when it was announced. Caitlin Clark had input into the off-season moves that the Indiana Fever made before this season. Now, injuries are something that nobody can predict. Nobody. All right? They happen. The fact that the Indiana Fever went through more injuries than any other team in the league and that they made it into the semifinals is an accomplishment that cannot be ignored. And Stephanie White helped to engineer that. And Caitlin Clark, as you well know, was on the sidelines. And she had considerable input into what was going on the court. And that was something that Stephanie White even said. Now, were there clashes between Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark? Probably. Okay, no one said that wasn't going to be a thing. But Caitlin Clark can handle herself. And I can promise you that if Caitlin Clark is not happy with Stephanie White will not be back. From what I know of her contract, and these things are not always revealed to the public, that has been stated as well, she's on a one-year contract with the expectation of a multi-year contract. As far as I know, that means that's not a done deal yet. If Caitlin Clark was unhappy with Christy Sides, maybe that's why she's gone. We don't know. I'm not saying that Caitlin Clark was the impetus for that, okay? I am saying that we need to stop looking at Caitlin Clark like she's some little waif from Iowa who has no idea what she's getting herself into. This is a girl who came out of college with a very high grade point average, by the way. I believe it was 3.69, while she was setting the basketball world on fire. Okay? She came out with a marketing degree. She has been building her own brand ever since. She came into the league with multiple endorsements, including a huge Nike contract. And she continues to rack up contracts and endorsements. She is now on a speaking tour that will net her 3 times her WNBA salary in the off-season. She is not a stupid woman. She understands her value to women's sports in general. She is again signed up to play on the Annika Sorenstam golf tournament in November. She is talking about playing on Team USA's qualifying rounds before the FIBA competition, which she will not be in because it will interfere with the next WNBA season. She will be 100% ready for May of 2026 to play for the Indiana Fever. That's where she wants to play. Whatever happens with the Indiana Fever, it will go through Caitlin Clark. She is the franchise. She's the face of the franchise. They may not talk about it. They may not let you in on that little secret. They may not wax poetic about her 24/7, but they don't have to. And she does not expect that. She is on a team. And what she wants more than anything is to win a championship. And she is smart enough to know it takes a team to win a championship. She is not going to win it by herself. She has worked out how to work with Kelsey Mitchell. When they are on the team, on the floor together, they are deadly in the backcourt. I am sure she has no problem with the Indiana Fever making Kelsey Mitchell's re-signing a priority, and I am sure Caitlin Clark had something to say about that. Just as I am sure that Caitlin Clark has said that she would like Lexi Hull back on the team. And I am sure that none of these people are stupid and they will test the waters in free agency. But the hope is that they are back with Caitlin Clark on the Indiana Fever. Just as I am sure that Caitlin Clark will have some kind of input into who Indiana drafts. Folks, again, we're not here for drama, okay? We are here to elevate a generational basketball talent who knows her mind, knows the power she has, and will use it, and will continue to build not only her brand, but the brand of the WNBA and of women's sports in general. That is someone to be celebrated. We don't need to sit around pitying Caitlin Clark. She's got her shit together, okay? As it were. She absolutely does. And she does not need to be on social media to build her, I don't know, her belief in herself. She does not care what people think. She has already stated that in the Sue Bird interview. She gets her strength from within herself, knowing the work that she's put in and what she's capable of. So if you want to enjoy yourselves as we watch Caitlin Clark take the next step in the WNBA, and believe me, she's not done growing yet. She will get even better than she already is if that is possible. But she will. All right? She is literally 2 years into her contract. She's missed most of her second season. And as I said last night, in 13 games, she had 115 assists, making everybody on that team around her a better player. So we will watch who the Indiana Fever pick up in the offseason. None of that can happen until January. The CBA has to be ratified and done first, and I'm sure that she will have something to say about that, not to the public. But I am sure people will be hearing from her. Caitlin Clark shouldn't be pitied, folks. She should be respected for exactly who and what she is. She knows exactly what she's doing on almost every level of her life. Okay? And I am absolutely positive, looking back now, that while she was injured, she was insisting on coming back, even though she knew she wasn't 100%. Because she felt it was something she owed her teammates and her fans. And Lisa Bluter alluded to the fact that she needed to be left alone to make those decisions, because if she made the wrong decision, she would own it herself and learn from it. And at some point, she had to take herself out of the picture because she needs to be ready for 2026. So, folks, that's what I've got for you tonight. Let me show you the clip. And I will make sure, by the way, this entire Robin Lundgren analysis is in the description of this video.
Right. Was CC making decisions like,
yeah,
with it? Yeah.
As she should.
No way.
As she should. But I also think that go
that's
ahead.
crazy. I didn't realize that. She's just young. I just didn't think that.
But when you have a generational talent like that, she should have a lot to say of the system. I also think when you have when she got in with Kelsey Mitchell, those two, it is very interesting to see how that they have. It is interesting to see how they've grown to be teammates, because both of them need the ball in their hands. But I think that they have played together enough that they both get that opportunity. And when they both can elevate each other, that team is unstoppable. Again, I'm
So there you have it. And, I'm sorry, no highlights tonight, but they'll be back tomorrow night, I promise you. In fact, we have a couple of really great little clips that I want to show you tomorrow night, including Caitlin Clark's 6 favorite players. Okay. And another funny clip about Caitlin Clark in physical ed as a young kid. And then some other great highlight stuff that I've been, holding out in reserve. But this video is important so that people truly understand that Caitlin Clark is not somebody that needs to be protected. Okay? She is someone who needs to be celebrated. And she is still young. Okay? She is new to the WNBA. She is 23 years old. She has this power now, and she will retain this power throughout her WNBA career. And she knows how to use it. So instead of sitting around and wringing our hands and worrying about poor little CC, let's just enjoy her, okay? And watch and learn from what she is and what she intends to do in the WNBA. I will talk to you folks tomorrow.